Today we are here to worship Christ as he was resurrected from dead. There are lots of theories about his death, but actually he resurrected himself and then he went down to India and settled there with his mother. The after period of his resurrection is not described in any books as such, but in one of the Puranas written about Shalivahana, one of the kings of dynasty I belong to, has met Christ in Kashmir. And he asked him, "What's your name?" He said, "My name is Isa." And then he asked him also that from which country you come, which place. He said, "I come from a country which is foreign to you and to me. And now I am here in my own country." That's how he appreciated, I think, the Indian thing. And then he used to cure people there. And his tomb is there, and his mother's tomb also is there. So there are other stories also created by people who did not know much about him. But whatever it is, what you find that Christ was very much impressed and was very much there to teach about morality as in the Indian scriptures, very strongly. For him, morality was the most important thing in life. Because as you know, he was the incarnation of Sri Ganesha. So for him, Ganesha's principle was extremely important. And that he has expressed by saying that in the 10 Commandments, it is said that thou shalt not commit adultery. But I verily say to you, thou shalt not have adulterous eyes, to such an extent that even the eyes should not be adulterous. It's a very good understanding of a personality where we find in the modern times most of them have their attention moving up and down with adultery. Also, in one of the Upanishads I read that even to look at a woman is adultery. Even to think of a woman is adultery. And talk to women too much is also adultery. These modern times I have seen there are women who are used as public relations everywhere, in every country. And they just go and chit chat and talk to people in position and talk in such a manner that they feel very much pampered. And one of the ways of getting favors, wrong favors, from officers is through this kind of PR business. It's very common. And this is what is responsible also partly for the corruption in many countries. Morality goes hand in hand with all kinds of violence. Anybody who is a violent person, a person who is in the mafia, a person who is regarded as an outcast, all of them are adulterous people of the worst type. So one has to understand how important it is that morality should be our basic asset in Sajava. Especially, I would say, we are so lucky today that it should be celebrated in the land of Sri Ganesha. That we should be here to celebrate his resurrection, which actually is due to his clean, we can say absolutely nishkalank life. Life which was so pure. His purity was there because he was nothing but Chaitanya. He was nothing but vibrations. He was so pure that he could even walk on the water. He was so pure that death could not kill him. So we have to aim at our purification. We talk of resurrection when we think of getting a second birth. As I have told you before, that an egg becomes a bird, that's called a Dvijaha, is twice born. In the same way, we who are covered with our ego and our conditionings opens out to become a bird. And that's how we all have come to know about the Brahma, about this all-pervading power, which is the Brahma. And that's how we have now really become the Dvijaha, meaning the Brahmins. Those who have not known the Brahma, without that, what is the use of any worship or any kind of chantings or anything? Because you are not connected. And if you are not connected, it has no meaning. But we have to look at ourselves about purity part of it. On a very lower level of people, you see, I have seen that the impurity comes from what Christ has called as murmuring souls. These are the people who start talking at the back of others and just enjoy this kind of talk. This is a very low type of a personality. I think in Sahaja Yoga, this should go away completely because it creates problems and the main basic strength of Sahaja Yoga, which is collectivity, is harmed by them. Especially in this respect, I would request the women, especially the wives of the leaders, have a great responsibility. If they start talking like that, taking interest in such talks, then they come down to the level of others and their motherhood is challenged. Any mother who allows the children to talk like that is really spoiling the entire life of her children. Anybody who talks ill of anybody in Sahaja Yoga is really extremely dangerous for both of them, but especially for the person who does it. So one should always avoid even thinking ill of others, let alone the talking of it. If anybody talks like that, you should put your hands to your ears and say, don't tell me, I don't want to hear anything against anyone. Because when we start talking against someone, we get all the bad things that person has. Apart from that, our mind is spoiled, is impurity in your mind. Then you talk to others, it increases and it becomes worse. So it's the responsibility of the women to be very much careful, because this kind of thing is more with the women because they are little excluded. They have exclusive friends and they have exclusive life. They are different type than men are. Men, if they have to get angry with someone or if they want to say something, they'll just go and have a fight and finish with it. But women will keep it in their mind and will say something. And it's such a bad thing to start. It's just like a worm, it moves and is very infectious. So all of you must remember that this is the first thing you must avoid, is to listen against anyone, talk against anyone, have small talks. I have said the same thing in Perth because last time when I came, I found horrible things were done against people. Now again I tell you this, because we are at a point where we have to understand that morality is not only about what is the sex is, but is much more than that, much wider than that. So, because we want to have our purification, let us have introspection within ourselves. People ask me, how did you manage so well in Russia? And there's one thing about Russians very great, that they are very introspective. If you read any novel of a Russian writer, you'll be surprised to see that all of them are introspective. All the characters are introspective. They want to see why I do it. For example, somebody is lazy, he doesn't work, he dedicates his time in reading or something else, but he cannot put his physical body to any strain. Then he introspects. Why? Why am I so lazy? Why can't I do something more active? Then somebody who is always sort of difficult and angry type, that people don't like him. Then instead of getting angry with others, he has to see himself within himself. Why am I not liked? Why people don't care for me? What do I have within me that is making me so miserable? So you'll see that you are either conditioned or you have a funny ego, which is coming up and is making you do wrong things which you should not do. That's one of the purifications you can have of your mind when you start introspecting yourself. Now, as the culture is, I find, is not very much for the benevolence of human beings. It is, you don't know what people are up to, what they can do, how far they can go. Nothing is possible. I've seen in some of the marriages we had very shocking things that the men or women never told me, and they had horrible diseases. And they just put me into trouble. There are many others who have done this kind of thing. So first thing, you must know that you cannot be a hypocrite in Sahaja Yoga. If you are a hypocrite, if you do not sincerely believe in Sahaja Yoga, fully engrossed yourself, you do not purify yourself and jump into yourself, then you will be exposed very soon and you'll be thrown away from Sahaja Yoga. No doubt about it. I will not throw, I will forgive. But as I have told you, there are two forces working in Sahaja Yoga. One is centrifugal and another centripetal. By centripetal force you will be attracted, but by centrifugal force you will be thrown out. So one has to be very, very careful, because whatever you have got is something really remarkably, surprisingly, so heavenly and so easily. Actually, I am surprised at myself how I have achieved all these things. But it has been achieved because, as I told you, that the all-pervading power itself has taken a dynamic role. It is acting because it is now we are in Kruta Yuga. This Kruta Yuga comes when there is a gap from one Yuga to another Yuga. Like we had Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga has to go to Satya Yuga, in between there's Kruta Yuga, when this acts and evolutionary process have taken place at that time. So now the last evolution has started, and again this all-pervading power has become very dynamic. That's how you get all my photographs and you get all these things, and you are also getting people realized, you yourself, you are surprised at the miracles you have. Everybody can tell you hundreds of miracles. So these miracles also are worked out by this all-pervading power. At this juncture, when we have all these possibilities, if we try to be hypocritical, we are harming ourselves. If we try to criticize others and not ourselves, then we are going to miss the bus. You must understand the importance of time. That is something people miss out. Sahaja Yoga is very good because you are blessed and you feel that you are secured, things are very good, you get so many brothers and sisters, and I see your faces just like roses shining. All that is good. But still, there is a chance that you may fall back. The reason is you must purify yourself. Never get satisfied with yourself. Some people, when I talk to them, they never think I'm talking to them. They think I'm talking to somebody else. So please try to understand. We have to introspect ourselves. We have to meditate. And when we are conscious about our own defects, we start looking at it and they'll drop out. It's a very tremendous task we have to do is to emancipate the whole human beings. And for that, you have to be something very special. You have to be ideal. People are going to see. I have seen some people who are very fond of going on the stage and trying to show off. It's ego. Understand that it is ego. If you are not what you are talking, nobody is going to take you seriously. On the contrary, they'll disappear from Sajo. If you are going to show off, people will say, look at this show off. Everybody can see you being like that. They may not see themselves, but they can see another person like that. So for all these ego manifestations, you have to be very, very careful. Now supposing if you have money, then you'll try to show off. If you have some power, supposing you have certain position in the government, you'll try to show off. Anything, these artificial things. I have known people who show off for absurd things which has no meaning. I don't understand that these all things are outside. They are not enriching you. They are in no way giving you the strength that you need. They in no way making you beautiful. So all these outside things anybody can have is nothing great about it. But the inner wealth that you develop is the only way you can purify yourself and the resurrection can take place in the same manner as Christ has said. Now the time of resurrection has come. You are all resurrected, but you have to still cleanse yourself. First, as I told you, that morality should be the highest priority for all of us. Now just think of the life people live. For example, I have been in the West with my husband in another atmosphere, another society. We've been to parties, we've been to all such things. And what I found, that no man is safe, no woman is safe. They are all flirting with each other, God knows for what. It's a joyless pursuit. And when they go back home, what they find, that the wife is missing or the husband is missing. So such an insecure life they have because they have no sense of morality. To them these pleasures are something great. And because of this misunderstanding about the life, they are suffering with such tremendous insecurity. You have to guide your children to a proper, sane morality. For that, you must behave properly. You should not go romantic in the presence of your children. You should not try to put them in a way that you lock up your rooms and do all kinds of things, but behave in a manner that is dignified. Otherwise, children will pick up from you to begin with. Then also, you should be careful as to the television and things that they show, all what children see. You have to be careful and talk to them that this is wrong. This is very wrong, and this will bring problems to us. If you have a proper rapport with your children, you won't have any problem. You see here they have so much of this education. Despite that, how many problems you have with children. While we do not educate children in all these things, but we don't have these problems in India because we are kept just innocent about it. If the children are kept innocent, they never indulge into it and they would never get into any problems which are created by curiosity. Never make them curious. You will feel happy, the children will feel happy, and they'll start their life from the very beginning on the basis of morality. This is what you have to give to your children, is a proper moral sense. Then another thing I've seen is that very important is to give for Sahaja Yoga your time. Many people do not give their time do not work in the ashrams. They do not think that they have to do something for such. You must understand that you are part and parcel of one body. Now, supposing I do not allow one hand to work, put it in a sling. You will find it will never work. It will become weak, it will not be able to do anything, it will be wasted. So, you have to use all the limbs of the body in the same way. You all must also put in physical, mental, emotional, whatever is possible for the work of Sahaja Yoga, because it is your work. I don't need Sahaja. I don't have to do it. It's for you. I have started this, and it is for you to give it to others. It's your responsibility. So you should take it up as your own. For example, you know that at this age I am traveling every third day or fourth day, and traveling long distances. All this I am doing for what? There's no need for me to do. I don't need anything. I'm just doing it because it's supposed to be my life. I don't know how to explain why I'm doing it really. Logically, it doesn't sound sensible. But if you see me, you say that we have great regard for Mother, we respect her very much, we are very fond of her, and we worship her, all these things. But do you give so much as she can give? How much do we give? Secondly, I have also heard that people are very miserly in giving money for my programs and things. You want me to come here. I used to spend my own money in the early days. But you don't want me to come here with my own money. Is it proper? Is it, if you have self-respect, you would not like me to come, spend my own money coming here and spend money for building this and spend money for your cars, petrol? Would you like me to do that? No. So, there are many people who come to my program, I am told, but do not pay for my programs. It's very wrong. If you do not pay, I tell you, immediately you will suffer. And that is in money matters. Because if you do not give, money doesn't come. Those people who have been generous with their hands have been very prosperous even in Australia, even in India. So I have to tell you, even this is not a temptation to you. But when people say, Mother, our thing is not coming up, this is not working out, so there's something wrong, somewhere wrong. Once you start dedicating yourself to Sahaja Yoga, immediately you'll find things will work out. There is something you have done wrong, which you should not have done, or something is you have not understood, you have done something under misunderstanding. Try to find out. Things must sort out. They must soothe out in Sahaja Yoga. Everything sorts out. Not only that, but I have seen it just becomes absolutely beautifully falling into line, and you are amazed how it works. From a small thing to big thing. So if it is not working out in your life, there's definitely something wrong. So it is the morality of your, I should say, financial morality. Also there were some horrible mishaps we had in this country of yours, where horrible leaders came who were interested only in money. That's how they came to Sahaja Yoga. And what has happened to them, you know that very well. So you don't come to Sahaja Yoga for money. You come here for everything. In the sense, in totality, you have to get that higher situation. Like that, you have to give also with an open heart. Know that you have got such a great gift. So now, what can I do about it? Of course, I don't need your money. I'm not in the same position as even Christ was, but he never took any money. So I need not take any money from you. But still, for other things, those people who have not paid should remember that if they want their children to be all right, if they want their family to be all right, if they want to be all right as far as the money is concerned, without feeling the ego, without pressurizing the leaders, try to spend money in a way that is really useful for such. Then another point is about the family, as I told you yesterday, that my house, I must have my house. I must have, especially leaders' wives. Again, I should warn them because all this has created problem to such an extent now that we had to throw them out of surgery. Despite the fact husbands were very good. But some women wanted to have their own home, they wanted to have their own children, they wanted to stay in their own. So, this kind of a thing, if a leader's wife has ideas, then what will happen to others? They have to follow an example that is that of a leader. And if the leader doesn't have that and the wife doesn't have that example, the whole thing can be absolutely in a state of jeopardy. And that's what I've seen, that people suffer so much when they do not realize that we all are part and parcel of one family. And we start thinking, imagine we cut one finger and plant it somewhere. What will grow out of it? Will a tree grow out of it? Or what will grow out of it? Nothing. It will stink. Till you are not joined with that whole thing, you were all right. Whether you are rotting in a place or wherever you were, doesn't matter. But when now you have joined and when you are part and parcel of the family, then see how you behave, how your children are. Are they collective? Are they sharing? Or they are fighting? Try to see that your children can share their things with others. And you first of all start doing that. Otherwise children cannot do it. Now look at Christ. He lived hardly for 4 years, in the sense that he was out of that country. Only for 4 years he could work out the mission that he had to fulfill. So he was only there to achieve this resurrection at the Agachaka. In that short period, how many beautiful parables he has given, how many places he has been, how many people he has talked to. All his life is spent like this. He lived in a very simple manner and he had no such tents or anything, so he used to go on mountains and mount. You know, Sermon on the Mount is very famous sermons. And then he would gather people there and talk to them. They would listen to him. But nobody imbibed anything that he said. Very few, that he had about 12 disciples who also understood him when he died. Before that, they did not understand what he was. They could not visualize actually within their minds what is he doing, what is he talking. But when he was resurrected, that made them think, who was he and what he has done. How is it we are his disciples? And they were ordinary fishermen. You know that very well. But their intelligence suddenly manifested, their dynamism manifested, and they really showed such good ways of achieving what we can call the second birth. Also, Christianity spread under wrong banner of Paul and Augustine, and that's how we see the problems of Christianity. So much so that we are shocked. How can Christianity of Christ would be like this? But it is. And this Christianity of Christ that has come has nothing to do with Christ. And he has said it. You'll be calling me Christ, Christ, I won't recognize you. We are the people who are carrying this. Also he has said they'll be wearing a mark on their heads and I will know who are those. So as it is, you are already marked. You are already being chosen by Christ. In his last judgment, he has chosen you and you are there. But still, one should know that there is all a possibility that we could be hypocrites. that we are playing with only words. Could be that we still have to cleanse ourselves. So just put your mind into yourself and see for yourself that where have I done wrong. As far as Muladhara is concerned, you people have a special responsibility. Australians have the greater responsibility than anybody else because this is a place of Sri Ganesha. And if you do not fully understand the significance of Muladhara cleaning, I am sure you won't be able to achieve any height in surgery. So all of you should decide about this and work it out so that there is no problem of your ascent or your rising because you are so pure or so beautiful. All this you have achieved already without much difficulties. Only thing is, if those things which are left behind suddenly are trying to come up, also you should not allow it to come into your life. You should just throw it. For example, like a lotus leaf, when it is under the water, it doesn't show anything. But when it comes up, then water doesn't stand on that. It just falls on. Doesn't get attached to any water. You may pour water any amount. It just takes up. So this is what you have to find out. Relationships between each other, racialism, and other things, we have to just oppose it. It's not a good thing to hate anyone for anything small like that. The forgiving quality of Christ at the time when he was crucified has to be remembered. How he forgave those who crucified him because they do not know what they are doing. But even when they know what they are doing in Sahaja Yoga, still people try to crucify. And this crucifixion can be all right for the person who is crucified, but very dangerous for the person who is crucified. So this has to be understood, that to get rid of all these things and to get out of all your crucifixions, you have to have an extremely pure, ideal, beautiful life. You should be proud of your virtues. You should be proud of your greatness. You should be proud that you are so righteous. There's nothing to feel bad about. Otherwise, people will boast about their bad things, as in the modern times, but not about their good things, regarded as bad manners. You need not boast of both the things, but you can be proud of the things that are so beautiful, so nice, so energy giving. Christ had to surrender to the desire of his Father, and he asked him that if you could take away this cup, it would be nice. But when the Father said, no, you have to drink this cup, he accepted and he went through it very bravely and beautifully. We have to have the same kind of surrender, that whatever we have to do, we should do it with the surrender. We should not think that we are achieving something by that, we are showing off by that, or anything like that. Just we should feel that is being done because we are surrendered. We should feel our surrender as a great blessing. If you can put your attention to your heart and just say that I surrendered myself, that's more than sufficient. But you shouldn't say that, Mother, please help me to surrender. I mean, how can Mother help you? All these prayers sometimes are escapes from reality. You just help me, you help me this. To surrender is very easy. Just you have to say, Mother, come in my heart and come in my head and come in my attention. That's all. Go on saying like that. Please come in my heart, come in my head and come in my attention. And as you are go on saying, Kundalini will rise and she will cleanse you completely. She's the one who cleanses you. All the time she's cleansing your chakras. But problem is you always spoil them. Again and again. Poor thing again and again rises and does that. So all these problems are because we are not introspective. Also I've seen people who are very attached to their wife or attached to their husbands. Then they cannot see anybody else. For them, everything is wrong but for themselves or their husbands or their wives. Seems to be a very common failing. This kind of false attachment not only will harm another person but will harm your husband or your wife, because they will also get away with wrong things. Once they start getting away with wrong things, there's no end to it, and they'll be destroyed. Now the task before me is to go to area of Vishuddhi in America, which is another very difficult task. And unless until that is put right, my throat cannot be all right. So I have to jolly well do it, and I have to work it out. But as you know, Americans have something wrong with their upper story. They can. I just don't understand. They like people who take money from them and who befool them, who have Rolls Royces, all kinds of things. Can you imagine? They would not have me on the television because I have no Rolls Royce. I mean, in the television, in the government, can you imagine such a television where they don't take you up because you have no Rolls Royces? It's not prestigious. If I have a Rolls Royce by cheating everyone, then it's very prestigious. It's a business. So, with all these things happening, one feels that the level of spirituality is really great in a place like Australia, which is cut off from the world, which is so much away. But spirituality is very well expressed here, and I'm sure in Sahaja Yoga they will rise very high if they keep to one understanding that they are living on this soil of Sri Ganesh. How important it is. How you live, with what purity and with what understanding. So today is the day of Christ's resurrection. We should say it's a resurrection for all of us. He is the one who managed it, who did everything for us. And he is the one who has helped us so much. Otherwise Kundalini would never have entered into Sahasrara. So one has to be really very much thankful to him from your heart. Plus, you should try to imbibe his qualities. One of the quality is there, of course, that when people try to criticize your mother or try to insult your mother, you get angry. That is just like Christ. He could not tolerate any insult or any kind of a neglect of his mother. He himself has said that this will not be tolerated. In the same way, you people also, if you have only for that, I am with you. I am absolutely with you that you do not have any more the feeling of guilt or anything within yourself when you understand that whatever you are doing with complete sincerity, with complete understanding. Even if you make mistakes, it doesn't matter. The mistake will bring forth something nice. But you have to be extremely sincere. This feeling should be within you. Look at the feeling of Christ. I mean, he crucified himself. He asked for the trouble. He went all the way there. There was no need for him to enter into that area. And he got this. Of course, you are not going to be crucified now for your resurrection. Not at all. But in a way, you have to crucify whatever is ugly, whatever is wrong, whatever is detrimental to your growth. You have to become really very beautiful people. Very beautiful. Anybody who talks to you, anybody who sees you, should say that I met such and such person, very beautiful. And then I asked, how is it you are so beautiful? And the person said that I am Sajogini. It's a very, very common experience of mine. Very common experience. And the main thing is that you have to respect your self-realization. Your resurrection has to be respected. If you do not respect your resurrection, you are not going to help yourself or others. I met once by chance the High Court judge of Hague High Court, which is a world high court. Just in Romania, he was sitting there. I was also sitting, and he was looking at me. Trying to locate him, I couldn't locate him. And then we went to Paris, and he was also in Paris, Frankfurt. He was changing, and I was also changing there. So he just came and asked, by the way, have I met you before? I said, maybe. I knew who he was, but I kept quiet. He said, I'm such and such, and I went to India, and there was a lady who cured me. Are you the one? I said, yes, I am such and such. All right. Then what he told me was most encouraging was this. He said, that time you cured me, I felt gratified. I thought you are one of the healers and all that. But when I saw the life of Dr. Nagendra Singh, my colleague, the way he is transformed, the way he had become such a good man, such a wonderful person, I asked him what has made you so good? How can you be such a good man in these bad times when from every side there is such an attack? And also he took a very big stand. The child is crying so. And what was the thing? What made you such a good person? You are living in a place like this, and you know how Hague is surrounded by all kinds of criminals and drugs and all that. And you are such a nice and a beautiful, saintly person. What has made you? So then he told me, you remember the lady who cured you? She has changed me completely. It is because of her I have become a yogi. And that's why my life is changed, because it gives you the strength. So this man told me, I was really very much touched. So he said, now can I have your photograph? I said, I don't have any photograph. There were 3-4 Sahajogis with me, they were wearing the badges. But only there was one badge. But the secretary of the Hague High Court was also with him. He got so much interested. So he said, can I have the badge? So we gave it to this judge. So the other fellow says, what about me? I would also like to have a badge. I said, are you going to carry this badge? Yes, yes, of course. Immediately bore it. Suddenly Matthias found another badge, but they had gone to the aeroplane. Then he ran there and he told the air hostess, give it to the gentleman. I saw one with this badge. All right, I'll give it to the other. And she took it. Can you imagine these people of such high society, I should say, so highly placed in life, such intellectuals? They are the judges of the Supreme High Court, in the sense that it's the supermost High Court in Hague, world's High Court. And so humbled down because of one person whom they saw so changed. So you can imagine how you can change your colleagues, how you can show better results by your proper dignified behavior. It's going to work out very well if you have that example. And Christ, why he impressed people so much? Because of his personal life. In his personal life, he showed how powerful he was. And then, in his death, he showed by his resurrection that he was something beyond human comprehension, where he has just become resurrected after death. Must be that he was absolutely purity personified, which he was. So today we have to place ourselves in such a manner that we ask for purity, and purity and purity, and that we are going to work out this purity within ourselves with full sincerity. We are not going to get into ego trip and think that we are perfectly all right. No. We are just going to ask for complete purity within ourselves. This is what the Christ has given us, which we should achieve, and we should really show that we can achieve that purity within ourselves. Whatever has happened, you forget it. You don't worry on that point. Whatever has happened is a gone case. Whatever has to happen is this, that you all should ask for purity. All criticism, all hatred, and all those things will disappear. Plus, the purity will give you that unique position that when people will even see your life, they will change. Only by seeing your life, they will change. I hope this works out very well here. And maybe by the time I come next time, we'll have lots of Sahajogis, beautifully connected to each other, beautifully having relations with each other, and these children growing up very fast as well. I hope to come back here again to the land of Sri Ganesha, where purity has taken over. May God bless. Easter Puja is a simple puja in a way, because we just of course the foot washing has to be there by children because that's the special day today. But otherwise, it's a much simpler puja, and it doesn't take all those things that we normally do.